What's up, man? I just got done listening to Radio Raheem interviewing Deontay Wilder. We all, if you didn't see it yesterday after the final press conference for Wilder versus Fury, he got into it wasn't a heated exchange between him and Radio Raheem. Deontay Wilder said, something about the racism and stuff that's happening in America, and told Radio Raheem, we've been fighting for 400 years, and and Radio Raheem said, what do you mean? And Deontay Waters said, you know what I mean. Deontay Wilder got really I wouldn't say angry, but he told Radio Raheem repeatedly, you know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about. And then today, I just seen another interview. Radio Raheem interviewed Deontay Wilder again, and Deontay Wilder, he was a little bit more calmed down. Well, it was 30 minutes after Radio Raheem, it got posted today. But Deontay Wilder, had an interview with him. Radio Raheem was talking about Fury going on the streets and asking people, do you know Deontay Wilder? I seen that thing with Fury. He was on the streets. He was asking people, do they know Deontay Wilder? A couple people said yeah. A couple people knew Fury, but like Wilder said, over here in America, boxing is a niche sport. Boxing is really a hobby over here. You know what I'm saying? Because we got so many sports that people pay attention to. You got hockey, you got baseball, you got football, basketball. Over here, football is king, and then basketball is next. You know what I'm saying? So boxing, has it has a place, but it's small, man. It's a small community, and you know, yes, Wilder said, if I was over in your country, I'd be doing what I'm doing. I'll be big. I'll be a big star. And I agree with him, because over in the UK, it's not as big as America. You know what I'm saying? The population is not that big. They got soccer over there, which soccer is king over there. But Anthony Joshua, they give a lot of love to. You know what I'm saying? If Wilder was over there doing what Anthony Joshua was doing, he'd get a lot of love as well. You know what I'm saying? And I agree with Wilder on that point. I like Wilder, man, because he told Radio Raheem. Well, Radio Raheem asked him a question about popularity and who sells the most and famous. Deontay Wilder said, "I'm not worried about being famous. I'm just worried about winning. I'm just worried about being the heavyweight champion of the world." He said, "Let other people see." One thing he said that I really liked. He said, "The one thing when you're famous, a lot of people get into your life and get into your business. And do you want that? You know what I'm saying? And a lot of people want fame. You know what I'm saying? We seen people crumble under fame. You know what I'm saying? And boxers being undisciplined under fame, not just in other endeavors, but I'm gonna talk about from the boxing perspective. We seen Adrian Broner try to be famous. You know what I'm saying? Want to be famous more than a boxer, and it hurt his career. And Deontay Wilder said, "Hey," and it's true. When you're famous, when you're quote unquote famous, people get in your business. And are you ready for people to pry through your life and put everything that you do in a big light? Fury, he crumbled under that. That's why Fury went through the things he went through with the alcoholism and the mental health. I praise him for coming back from that, because it takes a lot for a person to come back from all those issues. But he was famous, and he didn't handle it right. He didn't handle the fame part right. And like I said, everybody want to be famous, but can you handle it? And Deontay Wilder said, I'm not interested in being famous. I got my family. I'm doing what I love to do, and fighting, and let everybody else be famous. And I agree with him on that, man, because that fame stuff is not all what it's cracked up to be. We seen countless of times of people, not adjusting well to fame. So yesterday, the press conference was a good press conference. It was a little melee at the end, pushing and shoving. Deontay Wilder and them came face to face. They was talking intensive talk, him and Fury. And I guess Warren, the promoter for Fury, Frank Warren, he kind of see what he was trying to do, because he seen where it was going. So he tried to break Fury and Wilder apart, and he put his hands on Wilder. And Wilder's brother was like, "Don't put your hand on my brother," and then it started from there. But to me, when fighters because this is fight week. This is like a couple days before the fight. So the fighters, they want to get their hands on each other. So when they do the stare down, this is not like the stare down. This is not like the first stare down. It's like 2 and 3 months before the fight. This is like fight week, like 2 or 3 days, and the intensity is brewing. The emotions are brewing. And yes, you can't let them stare at each other that long because, they start talking, and those are big dudes. You know what I'm saying? Security, to me, should have been on the stage. I think they had a couple security guys on the stage, but they should have more than that because after a while, you have to get them apart from each other. Now, by Frank Warren putting his hand on Deontay Wilder, Deontay Wilder took it a certain way. That's why I said you should have had the security up there. If security would have gotten between them, and motioned them away from each other, by putting their arms in between them, trying to get them apart from each other, Deontay Wilder would have took it better. But the fact that your promoter is putting his hands on me at the time that I'm talking to you, you know what I'm saying? Y'all know how it is when people are intense in each other's face and they about to fight, and you don't want nobody touching you, period. You know what I'm saying? So I get what he's saying with that, but I thought, I don't know, man. I hope Wilder is not too amped up, because sometimes you can be too amped up. You can burn yourself out. You can burn yourself out when you get up in there. And this is what Tyson Fury want Wilder to do. Tyson Fury want Wilder, he want to get in Wilder's head. And to a certain extent, I think he is I think he's in Wilder's head to a certain extent, because that's what Tyson Fury does. This is what he was able to get in Klitschko's head. He was able to get in Derek Chachure's head. Y'all remember he got in his head. He was able to get in some guys' heads, you know what I'm saying, before the fight. And that's his specialty. And I know Wilder knows that, you know what I'm saying, because Wilder mentioned it in the first press conference. So, but as you keep talking with Fury and being in the same room with him, he can agitate you. He can get under your skin. And yes, I think he got under Wilder's skin, man. You know what I'm saying? So I still have Wilder winning the fight, for various reasons. The first reason is, to me, Fury, I don't know how he's going to perform against a level of fighter like Wilder. You know what I'm saying? Now, yes, a couple years ago when he fought, Klitschko, yes, he had the skill level to deal with Wilder back then. But I don't know, after going through all that stuff, the weight gain, 400 pounds, and the mental health and the drugs on top of it, that's a lot of stuff, man. I mean, yes, he can come back and live a regular person's life, but how can he deal with the stress of, going against a guy like Deontay Wilder and being in this environment and he's away from home, he's not in his comfort zone, and, dealing with what he got to deal with on Saturday. Now, he can fool me. He can fool everybody and be prepared and be ready. But my thing is this: I cannot bank and say that this is going to be a 50-50 fight, which I thought it was 2 years ago. I can't say that now because of the things that happened. I can't overlook that. And a lot of people are overlooking that, man. They overlooking the fact that this man was out of boxing for 2.5 years. Not just out of boxing, like out of boxing and still taking care of himself. No, he went through a lot of stuff, man. He went through some dark places. You know what I'm saying? This man said he wanted to commit suicide. See, that's a lot of stuff, man, to put in your analysis. Now, I did do a breakdown. I did a breakdown based off the Klitschko that I seen when he fought, around about the time he fought Klitschko and when he fought Klitschko. I did a breakdown based on that because I couldn't do the breakdown based on what I seen Klitschko do in his last 2 fights when he fought those 2 guys, because that Klitschko, I don't see that Klitschko going no more than 5 rounds, if that. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, he can fool us and he can be ready. And I hope he's ready, and I hope he fool us, because I would like to see a great fight. I'm always down for I like a great competitive fight. I don't want to see no one-sided fight, man. I don't want to see one-sided. I hate seeing one-sided fights. I'm not in the business of looking at one-sided fights. You know what I'm saying? So I hope he does. And then if he can come back and be that Fury that he was, it's a great fight. Then it's a 50-50 fight. Anybody can win. It's a toss-up. Yeah, but I just hope Deontay Wilder is not too amped up. I mean, he will have a couple days to simmer down, to calm down, and hopefully that get him back down to an even keel, and go in the ring and do what he has to do. You know what I'm saying? And I hope Wilder, don't succumb to the pressure to where he's trying to knock out and just throw power shots and just try to knock Fury out, because you can be playing into Fury hands. You know what I'm saying? You have to use your jab. You have to realize and fight at a distance, that will make you successful. You know what I'm saying? So I hope Wilder come in and say, look, I'm gonna go in there, do everything fundamentally that I have to do, and if the knockout comes, it comes. You know what I'm saying? Because, like I said, he has knocked out everybody he faced, so he's going into the fight thinking nothing less that he gonna knock Fury out. But he cannot go in there and just telegraph the knockout. You can't telegraph the knockout. You have to go in there and do the things necessary to get the knockout. And he has to go to Fury's body, because Fury has a flabby body, man. He had a flabby body. The last two weigh-ins I seen with him and these two guys he fought, I mean, they did like one of those, you know how they do those commercial things when they come and do a face-off. His body was still looking flabby. I don't know how long ago that was. I don't know how long ago that was that thing was promoted or was taped, but he still had a flabby body. And when they were standing next to each other, when he took off his shirt yesterday, he still had a flabby body. So I don't know how much that's gonna be able to tighten up in 3 days. You know what I'm saying? So Wilder need to go to that body. I think Wilder should get on the inside. Rough Fury up, you know what I'm saying? Because right now, Fury has not been through a rough fight. Those two guys he fought wasn't taxing on his body. You know what I'm saying? If I was Wilder, I'd get on the inside, land some vicious body shots and see how he take them. You know what I'm saying? Then go upstairs, push him back. But we'll see what happens, man. And like I said, I hope Fury, can bring the fight, and I hope Fury can be right on that day. But let me know what y'all think, man. I'm out.